So staying at home with parents are actually pretty nice. But if we are talking about family time, right? My parents can just fly to Vancouver like before and stay with us in Vancouver, right? So we flew all the way from Vancouver to explore China. So after a week with my family, we say goodbye to my parents and we are taking the high-speed bullet train to Jinan, the capital of Shandong province. So let's follow me on the way.
There are 3 classes of tickets in a Chinese high-speed bullet train. The second class, which is economy class, first class, and business class, which is business class, is the top of the plate. I know in most Western countries, usually first class is defined as the most expensive ticket. Business class are usually great, but it is the second most expensive ticket in bullet, not the top of the line. In China's railway system, it is opposite. Business class is the most expensive ticket, and the first class is cheaper, actually way cheaper than business class. This time, we are taking the newest FUXING intelligent train. The business class are updated to a more premium sitting experience. There are way more space, privacy, and lots of adjustment on the seat. From the FUXING intelligent train and newer business class are all look like this. Although they are all for business class, the price of these is actually higher than regular older non-intelligent trains business class.
My parents dropped me and Michelle at the Beijing South railway station. Business class travelers have a special lounge, so you can just bring your booking information and you can walk right in. There are some train models on the side as decorations, and here's your big comfortable sofa for you to relax before boarding. You will have unlimited free beverages and snacks, and I did make myself a nice sweet latte. You don't need to worry that this amazing lounge will make you miss the boarding time. When it is your turn, a railway faculty will remind you. Then she will privately board you and your luggage through a private access away from all other passengers directly to your seat in the train. We are on board. Our trip to Jinan is just over 400 kilometers with 2 stops at 2 major cities in between. Travel time is right over an hour and a half. On the screen here, it says, "Welcome to FUXING Intelligent EMU." EMU stands for Electric Multiple Unit. In common sense, obviously, it means the high-speed bullet train. This is the comfortable seat in the carriage. Haven't seen those Chinese-style pillows for a long time. Now you got a free bottle of water and some snacks. Then you got a free slipper. It says CR on it. CR, of course, stands for China Railway.
Here's a brochure. On the left side is to show you what special service you can have as a business class traveler. On the right side to show you today's dinner menu. Of course, dinner is all included.
Here are multiple seating positions for you to enjoy the trip. Michelle are demonstrating all the positions for you guys. Of course, the seat have a standard upright position. There is a leaning position. There is a semi-lying position. There is the Fowler's position. And a full 180 degrees flatbed supine position. Although the attendant gave us a huge blanket, but our trip is only slightly over an hour and a half, so we can't really, sleep the whole way in bed mode. The train has departed. In like matter of minutes, we are already at the countryside of Beijing City. We are on our way to Jinan. Yay! The amazing part about train traveling is you can walk around. You don't need to put your phone in airplane mode, and your phone is always having cellular data. And the high-speed train are very foreigner friendly. You can see English basically everywhere. Even the train announcements are in Mandarin and English. And the biggest advantage is, although we are basically flying at 350 kilometers per hour, you don't really need to wear any seatbelts.
Here comes our dinner. We are having our dinner at the speed of 350 km per hour. I ordered some ribs and fish. Rod ordered some chicken and mushroom, and the combo came with soup and rice. The taste is alright. It is definitely not the best food for sure. It is more like microwave food, just like the same on airplane.
After dinner, Michelle decided to have a quick nap, and I decided to enjoy some train travel scenery. You can always trust the view of any train travel, no matter where you are on Earth. The maximum speed this FUXING train model tested it can reach 435 kilometers per hour. Of course, it's only done by the testing unit. The maximum commercial operating speed is 360 kilometers per hour. So with that speed, the carriages of the train is fully sealed, so smoking is prohibited on board. You can be badly fined or even arrested if you smoke, just like on an airplane. Now, let's talk about price. Although the train can take over 1,000 people each trip, but there are only 16 business class seats. And in my case today, all other 4 seats in my current cabin are all empty because it is way more than a regular coach ticket. This is the Chinese website and app that Chinese people use to purchase train tickets called 12306. It is owned by China Railway. This specific trip me and Michelle took from Beijing to Jinan cost 663 Chinese yuan per person, which is around 90 US dollars or around 130 Canadian dollars per person. Western friends, if you came to China for a tour, you can use trip.com. You can easily view and book train tickets while planning your trip. No sponsorship whatsoever. Mentioning it is only because it works for my Canadian friends when he came to travel to China. Of course, ticket prices varies on how long you travel. Beijing to Jinan is only 400 kilometers, which is a fairly short trip. Here are prices from Beijing to Shanghai. Distance of 1,300 kilometers. Travel time of 4.5 hours. And here are tickets from Beijing to Hong Kong. Distance of more than 2,400 kilometers. Travel time of slightly over 8 hours. From the screenshot, you can clearly see the prices from second class, first class, and business class, just for your reference. To my experience, I will say approximately business class is double the price of the first class, and first class is double the price of second class. Good thing about Chinese railway tickets is that they are very stable. Ticket prices are the same all year around, no matter it is a mid-weekday, a weekend, Christmas Eve, or even Spring Festival. Because it is belong to the country, the company China Railway is owned by China. The company owns and operates all railways. The railway system is not operated by any private companies. To be honest, no private companies really would like to invest anyway. The railway system is built to address China's own transportation needs. It is not really built for profit, so the investment return is very terrible. Not like airplane travel, you can choose from different airlines. In China, there are hundreds of airlines, but only one railway operating company. Flight tickets usually go crazy on statutory holidays, like Thanksgiving or New Year, and usually more expensive on the weekends, right? As we mentioned earlier, high-speed trains are called EMU, which is electric multiple unit. So there are no locomotives at the front or at the back, pulling or pushing the train. Passenger carriages itself is in locomotive. There are multiple electrical units in each carriages to push the train together to gain that incredible speed. Although bullet trains are all over the internet, China isn't just bullet trains. Actually, high-speed trains are only 30% of nation's railway system by track operating mileage. Bigger and smaller cities are mostly connected with bullet trains, but there are lots of rural small town or villages that can only be accessed by regular speed train with locomotives. I have to say, China's railway development is really a late start. British engineer George Stephenson already created the first steam power locomotives in 1814, and in 1825 it is already in operation. But China had its very own railway in 1909, the very first diesel locomotive in 1959, and the very first electric locomotives in 1968. And the bullet trains came out in 2007. I'm gonna talk about the history of China's railway in few minutes. Indeed, China put the high-speed train to the next level, but it's more like the country needs it. In Canada and the US, where there are way less population, and people usually take the airplane as a faster travel option, the US is very advanced in aviation industry. Also, people usually choose driving their own vehicle as another option because highways are very advanced in North America. I don't think China is willing or trying to compete with anyone like Spain or Japanese bullet trains. Due to economic growth, China has to face its own transportation needs. Especially China has the fourth largest country by area in the world. Everyone knows Russia is the largest country with 6.6 million square miles. Canada at the second place with 3.8 million square miles. The United States and China are very close by area at the third and fourth place with 3.7 million square miles. But China's population is more than 4 times the population in the US and 35 times the population in Canada. Since each train can take over 1,000 passengers per trip, so train is the most efficient way to move people around. Especially with the high-speed feature, it will be even more efficient to move people to their destination. Also, to transport cargoes inside the nation, trains are the cheapest way. Of course, cargo trains are all regular speed trains. There isn't any high-speed bullet cargo train. In China, they are very diverse in landscapes. 1/3 of China's land are mountains. The rest are rivers, high plateaus, sandy deserts, dense forests, and etc. Due to that, building the high-speed train are crazily expensive. New bridges, new tunnels, new train stations, and etc. On regular speed train tracks, you cannot do 300 plus kilometers per hour. High-speed trains can only run on the high-speed tracks and high-speed train stations along the way. So basically, China is building another whole railway system, additional to the regular speed train system. The high-speed train and the regular train takes different track routes and different train stations as well. Of course, the high-speed train stations are usually way newer. For example, if you're heading from Beijing to Shanghai, two of the most biggest cities in China, if you're taking the high-speed train, you will be going from Beijing South Station to Shanghai Hongqiao Station. If you take the regular train, you will be either departing from Beijing Station or Beijing West Station to Shanghai Station. Although these stations are in the same city, but they are totally separated stations that are dozens of kilometers away. So, are the bullet train tickets expensive? For people that lives in big cities with average or higher income, it is actually not that bad. But for lower income family, especially live in the undeveloped areas, I would say it is not cheap for them to travel. Few populations can't even afford a bullet train ticket. Due to the construction cost, ticket price of the bullet trains are way more expensive than a regular speed train. Let's take Beijing to Shanghai as an example again. A regular train with electric locomotives, you only need $20 to travel 1,300 kilometers. Let's not talk about other facts. Let's just say if you walk or bike 1,300 kilometers, I know it's almost impossible. I'm not out of my mind, but I'm just saying. the food you eat to support that energy for you to walk or bike, it's more than $20 for sure. When you are enjoying the cheapness of the ticket, you only got a chair with 20 bucks. You have to suffer of sitting in that chair for almost 19 hours before you arrive. If you need a bed, it is $40 US. A larger bed with some privacy will be $64 US. But the cheapest second class coach ticket on a high-speed train starts from $80 to $90 US. From the ticket prices, you can probably see on a regular train, you also have different seating options. There are the hard seat tickets, hard sleeper tickets, and soft sleeper tickets with lots of privacy. The soft sleeper being the most expensive ticket, but it's still cheaper than the cheapest ticket in the bullet trains. Let me know if you guys are interested. I can do an episode of regular speed trains in China if you guys like. I didn't see lots of YouTubers systematically introduce how China's railway system starts in chronological order since the 1800s. So let's find out. The first ever railway in China is actually from the British. In 1865, British businessman Trent built a 500-meter railway in Beijing. It's not for commercial use, it's more like a demo to the Qing government. At that time, China is not People's Republic of China. It is still ancient China ruled by the Qing dynasty. In 1876, British trading firm Jardine Matheson Corporation built the very first commercial railway in Shanghai, known as the Wusong Road. Of course, it's fully owned and operated by the British. In 1905, the Qing dynasty started the construction of Jingzhang Railway that connects from Beijing to Zhangjiakou. This is a very first railway built, owned, and operated by the Chinese. Chief engineer Zhan Tianyou faced with huge difficulties, steep mountains, terrible terrain, and lack of advanced machinery, but he actually did it. The railway was launched in 1909. Due to this glorious act, Zhan Tianyou was named the father of China's railway. In 1949, Chairman Mao founded the People's Republic of China, which is the new China. So after 1949, China starts to build steam locomotives. Due to steam-powered locomotives can take lots of load and very unpowerful while going up hills. Then China starts to build and operate diesel locomotives called Dongfang Hong and electric locomotives called Shaoshan Yihao. Then in the 1990s, China Railway starts to raise the train speed due to economic growth. More and more private cars came into people's lives. And China is building highways as well. People won't take the train if they are even slower than cars. In 1997, China Railway announced the night train tickets. It is a sunset departure and sunrise arrival train. You only need to have a good sleep and you are in your destination. It is like a moving hotel, so it became a flagship product of the railway system. From the 1990s to 2005, China Railway did 5 train speed increase. Main lane, like Beijing to Shanghai, has to be 160 km per hour plus, and national average train speed can be up to 65 km per hour plus. In 2006, China launched the Qingzhang Railway, which is the Qinghai-Tibet Railway. It is the highest railway in the world. This 1100 kilometer high altitude line alone has 675 bridges, 9.5 kilometers of tunnel drilling through permanent frozen mountains. Special designed high altitude turbocharged diesel locomotives have to climb to 5,068 meters above sea level to cross the Tibet Plateau, the largest and highest frozen mountain plateau on Earth. On the plateau sits the world's highest mountain, Himalaya. The other name of the Tibet Plateau is the roof of the world. The specially designed sub-zero temperature-proofed passenger train carriage has to be pressurized just like a plane fuselage due to average altitude of the line. Goal mode to Lhasa is over 4,000 meters. There are oxygen generators in each train carriages, an individual oxygen mask next to each bed in each bedroom if anyone feels uncomfortable. By all kinds of technology, China indeed managed to get a railway line in this remote terrain, which is frozen solid in the winters and soft marsh in the summer. In 2007, the 6-speed increase made China into the bullet train era, accomplishing speed up to 180 to 250 kilometers. Nowadays, the high-speed train are mainly in two series, the CRH series called Hexie and the CR series called FUXING. The CRH is the earlier model, stands for China Railway High Speed. In the series, it have CRH1, the CRH380, and etc., called the Hexie. China made them by purchasing technologies and few demo trains from Bombardier, Kawasaki Heavy Industries, Siemens, and Alstom, paying to learn from their engineers and technicians. Purchase price are extremely expensive because all companies are not just selling demo trains, they are selling the technologies as well.
In 2017, the CR series, stands for China Railway, was launched, like the CR400AF and the CR400BF, which is called the FUXING train. It is a full Chinese built train with Chinese technologies, fully designed, tested, made, and mass-produced by China with trademark license with independent third-party certification. In 2019, the CR400AFJ and CR400BFJ, which is the FUXING intelligent train, launched with the brand new Xinjiang high-speed railway with the Chinese Beidou system, the China's own GPS. The train can operate fully autonomously. The driver only needs to supervise and perform very basic operation. I think the government picked the time on purpose. In 1909, the Xinjiang steam power train runs at 35 km per hour. Now, with the new high-speed tracks, FUXING intelligent trains runs at 350 km per hour. 110 years ago, with the old Xinjiang Railway, Beijing to Zhangjiakou needs 6.5 hours. Now it only needs 47 minutes.
The FUXING intelligent train really played a big role in the 2022 Beijing Olympic Winter Games, transferring passengers from Beijing to Olympic Stadium in Zhangjiakou. In that year, Beijing became the first and only city that have hosted both the Summer and Winter Olympics. Our trip today from Beijing to Jinan is the CR400AFZ, the FUXING intelligent train. News says that the CR450 is coming up later next year, targeting commercial operating speed at 400 plus km per hour. Very curious to see how it performs. If you guys are traveling to China, definitely try the high-speed train. It will be a very amazing experience for you.